know is the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. This is just going to be perfect for the foundation that I am going to use in this tutorial today. It is also a foundation from Hourglass, and it is called the Hourglass Veil Fluid Makeup. This is just something that I've been loving lately because of the winter. It's just been getting colder and colder. I just wanted something that is really going to sit comfortably on my skin. I do have oily to combination skin, but I honestly like a dewier foundation in the wintertime. This is something that I do every year. I always switch to something that is more hydrated. For my lid, I am going to prime with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I do have this one in my collection for a while, so I just wanted to use it up. For that eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with my Lorac Pro 2 palette. I've had this one for a couple months, but I'm just breaking her in. And the first shade that I did use was the shade Buff. Then I went in with Nectar. Now you can skip this shade. I just wanted to see how it would work as a transition color, but you could just skip and go to the light brown, which is the color that I used next. Or I should say that I'm using now. For my brow bone highlighter, I'm going to go back into that shade Buff, which is a matte shade, just to kind of set everything. And then I'm going to go with something that has a little bit more shimmer to it, which is the shade Beige from the same palette. And of course, you also want to go back and just blend everything together so that your brow bone kind of meets with your transition color and everything just kind of blend together. I am going to go into my Inglot palette with a different brush. This one is the Sigma E25 brush, and this brush is just going to give me more color payoff. And the first color that I'm going to go in with is the shade 563 from Inglot, and I'm just going to really work that into my crease to get a really nice, well, not super intense, but a really good payoff of color just within the crease that you guys are seeing right now. I'm also going to bring that color on the lower lash line because we are going to really smoke the bottom lash line out as well. And you also want to go back and just blend everything together just around the edges. If you want to, you can blend it within the color, but I find when you do that, it just kind of makes everything look kind of soupy. So I just like to go around just the edges with your blender brush. Then I'm going to work on really defining the crease as well as the outer lash line. And I'm going to go in with another Inglot shade. This one is in the shade number 329. It's just a really nice deep matte brown, and I'm just going to pack that on the, I should say, in the crease, and then use my brush to kind of blend it out. This is up to preference. You can take that shade right the way in, but I'm just going to leave it on the very outer crease. Right here is also a matter of preference. If you want to, you can skip this part and move on. I wanted it to be a bit more smoky, so once I blend the shades, I did go back in and add more color and just blend it out some more. Then I'm going to take that black from the same Lorac Pro 2 palette, and the same thing, I'm going to pack that color into the crease and then use my brush just to blend it out. I'm going to start working those colors on my lower lash line, and the first shade that I'm going to go in with is the shade 329. That one is the really intense deep brown color from Inglot. Then with a flat eyeshadow, or I should say liner brush, I'm going to take the black from the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I'm just going to wedge that right up against my lashes because I really want to smoke the bottom lashes out. But with the intense color, or I should say with the deeper color, you just want to go as close to the lash line as possible. And then I'm just going to use the brush just to make sure everything just blends seamlessly together. For my lid, I'm going to go in with the shade Rosé, also from the Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I'm just going to pat that onto the lid. I like the color on my lid really intense, but my technique is just to pat it on. This helps with blending, and it also helps with making the color really rich and intense. For my inner corner color, I'm going to go back in with that color beige, which is the one that we used on our brow bone as well. For lashes, I'm going to go in with these Koko lashes in the style Ariel. Oh my goodness, these are so pretty. I love these lashes so much. The quality is so amazing for the price, and I'll leave a link down below where you guys can pick these lashes up. But anyhow, I did skip a liner. If you want this look to be more dramatic, more smoky, go with the liner. I just wanted it to be really clean because I am going to go in with a deep lip. Even though I did smoke out the eyes, I really wanted to keep everything still clean and fresh and polished. So that's why I skipped the liner, but you guys can also do what you please. Then I'm going to move on to highlight and contour. Once again, you guys have seen me do this quite a bit, so this should not come as any surprise. I did switch it up a bit. I did use my Radiant Creamy Concealer from Nars, and I am going to use another color another product because I really want my skin to be nice and dewy and radiant. And this one is the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat highlighting pen. I'm not sure what the name of it is. One of those things that I have in my collection, but I use pretty much this time of the year. So I'm just going to use that just to bring some more life into my skin. I'm using my finger to pack it out because I didn't want to go in with my blender right away, because you know what, this product is so expensive that I didn't want my sponge just to kind of soak everything up. I really wanted my skin to look really nice and radiant. So just use your finger to pat it out and then blend it afterwards. Then I'm going to move on to some contouring, and this is the black Opal stick foundations, and I am going to use the shade Hazelnut and Carob mix just to give my skin some definition. Oh my god, I love to contour so much, guys. I know that this seemed like a lot, and believe me, I do not do this every day. I do contouring every day, but I don't use a cream product every day. But for those moments where I really want my skin to be contoured, defined, and radiant at the same time, I really like these sticks just to kind of do my contouring. I am going to set it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it's just something about using the cream products that is just going to, after an hour, just make your skin look so radiant, just so alive, even in the dead cold. Yes, I love it. And I'm just going to set everything as I just said. I'm going to use my Makeup Forever powder to set the places that I highlight, and I'm going to use a deeper color to set my contoured section, or I should say my bronzing section, because I am going to go in and contour with a product once again that I don't use very often, but you guys are going to see it next, and it's a love product. It's just that I don't use it often enough. It is the Covergirl Queen Collection bronzer. This is the deepest shade. It does look red in the compact, and honestly, if you're much fairer than I am, or I should say lighter than I am, it is going to show up red, but I don't know, I just love this bronzer so much. Or I'm using it as a contour, but it's really a bronzer. And you always want to use your foundation brush as sort of like an eraser and a blender. So I contoured, I bronzed, I did all of that, and I'm just going to use my foundation brush just to go over everything, and it's just going to let everything tie together really nicely. For blush, I'm going to use another product that I've been loving lately. It is the Hourglass Blush palette. Oh my goodness. If you are looking for a blush that's going to give you a really nice subtle color, but it's just going to make your cheeks, everything just look alive, this blush palette is a must. Also a must from Hourglass. I sound like I'm sponsored, right? Not. But anyways, I'm just loving these products lately because once again, 'tis the time of the year that is just really cold and you want your skin to look radiant, to look alive, and these products just does it for me. So yeah. For lips, as I said, I am going to go with something really dark, really dramatic. I did do 3 variations of this lip color, and unfortunately some of those clips got erased, but I will show you guys the pictures of what I did. But first I'm going to start off with this lip liner. It was from the Riri Hearts MAC collection. It's not available anymore, but I know that MAC has a lip liner that is pretty much the exact dupe, and I'll leave the link to that below. But I'm just going to use that to line my lips in preparation for the lipstick, and I'm going to use Motorhead. This one was from the Kat Von D lipstick pack that I showed you guys in my haul, and I'm going to use 2 other lipsticks from that pack as well. The 2 other lipsticks are Agatha as well as Lovecraft. So this one is Motorhead on its own. As you guys can see, it's really dark, it's really intense. I love this, honestly. I mean, oh, I really love this lipstick. And the next one, I just pretty much layered Lovecraft over it, and it just kind of tones down the vampiness of that lip color. As you guys can see, it's still deep, it's still dark, but it's just not as vampire-ish. Anyways, the next color I did layer on was called Agatha. It's just a really pale nude, and it's just going to give you that berry color. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.